All right, sorry.
Here?
No, over there. Here, I'm just gonna put Crystal on here for 2 seconds, just while I adjust something. Sorry, guys. Just put it down.
Hi, everyone. So it's my Ask Me Anything. Ask Me Anything. Derek's trying to adjust the light right now because it's not perfect. So hopefully you guys have something. So we have a super chat, and if you guys don't know what super chat is, it's where you guys donate a little bit of money, which is like so nice of you. Totally not needed, but it does pop up and we do see it. So this is from Juha Juppy, and he says video ideas: how to veganize other parts of your life, clothes, shampoo, cleaning supplies.
That's actually a good idea. We kind of thank you, Crystal. Sorry.
You're welcome.
The light was like gonna blind me. So, oh yeah, as far as like veganizing your clothes, shampoos, yeah. Crystal actually recently did a video on cruelty-free items on her YouTube channel, and I keep meaning to do like a video on that because I have like a pretty simple like care routine, but it definitely like all involves like cruelty-free, you know, for the most part natural or as natural as you can kind of get products. So yeah, definitely. What do? I don't know. You got to start researching. The Environmental Working Group, EWG, is a really good website, and I think, don't they tell you on there? Oh no, what is it? The
EWG is more for chemicals.
Yeah, it's more for like chemicals and stuff.
Cruelty-free. There's a couple websites. There's Logical Harmony, which is cruelty-free like cosmetics and skincare.
Okay, Logical Harmony, and then there's the one with the bunny.
Cruelty-free kitty, and then there's Leaping Bunny. Leaping
Bunny. That's another like another sort of website I guess you could check out. But yeah, that's a good one. As far as clothes and stuff go, it's like, yeah, it's tough, right? Because then, like, I don't wear a lot of like leather stuff, any of that, anyways. I'm not really into it. But as far as like, you know, clothes go, we definitely have to think of like the like wool and that sort of stuff, but also like how it's made, and like, you know, we know a lot of these things are made in countries that don't have like great, you know, working conditions and stuff like that. So it's like another consideration that we should probably make. I have to admit, I'm not the best at that. However, a lot of the clothes I get are like free that are sent to me from people, but they're also, I hold on to my clothes, as you guys know, for a really long time. I wear like, I've been wearing the same thing since you probably started watching this channel. So, you know, that's another way you can kind of work sustainability into it. Yeah. So yeah, that cleaning supplies though is a big one. Like you don't want stuff that's been tested on animals, right? Because that animal testing is so cruel. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, you just got to start like researching that, and that's a great video idea though. So you're not asking for answers. You were just saying it's a video idea. Yeah, so thank you for that.
We'll mark it down.
All right, so we got, holy smokes, super generous super chat from Kurt Bijot. Wow, thank you so much. Holla from Timmins, Ontario. Yeet. That's cool. I like, if you guys didn't know, I lived in Ontario for much of my childhood. So I definitely have been to Timmins. I can't think about where it is right now, but I believe it's north of most places in Ontario, but I could be wrong. Keep being awesome. Curious for your thoughts on Netflix documentary, The Game Changers. Not sure if you've commented on it before. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've commented on The Game. I actually have a video that's called So You Watched The Game Changers, Now What? So yeah, what are my thoughts on it? I think it was really good. There's, you know, with these movies, they always have like a message, right? And they always have like, you know, they just have their message. So of course, it's always going to be like a little bit, you know, sensationalized or whatever. But I think it's like the movie was really good at helping to get people's eyes, you know, onto veganism and understand that it is, you know, possible to be an elite athlete, to build muscle, to do all these things on a plant-based diet. And a lot of the athletes on there proved it. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of, you know, like debunking of all that sort of stuff. And I think a lot of the facts and everything that's in it is, you know, it's pretty awesome. I think it's a great movie. I think it's a good one to show to people who are, you know, who aren't vegan. The one thing in the movie though, that as soon as I saw it, I was like, and nobody has questioned this, is Lightning Wilkes said that once he went vegan, he did the battle ropes for 1 hour straight. And that was like the one part of the movie where I was like, what? I'm like, 1 hour of battle ropes. Like if you guys have ever used battle ropes, man, like I can't, like I'm good for like 45 seconds when I'm fresh. So like, I don't know if he was just using like freaking dental floss or something to do the battle ropes with, but Lightning Wilkes, man, I know you're not watching this, but like teach me how to do the battle ropes for an hour. Because that was the only fact in that movie that I was like, oh, this is maybe questionable. Anyways, I want to see the movie of that. Did no one else question that? Like, anyways, okay, let's answer some other questions. Oh, we have another super chat, but I'll answer this one quickly, and we'll get to the other. Seen the new documentary "Life on Our Planet" by David Attenborough? No, I don't think I have seen that one. Like I was when Blue Planet and what was the first one that came out? Planet Earth. When those came out, I was like all about it. I absolutely love watching those things, and I have not seen this one, the new document "Life on Our Planet" by David Attenborough. I'll definitely check it out. Netflix. Crystal says she thinks it's on Netflix, so we'll definitely check that out. Thank you so much for the suggestion, Peter Cunnington, and the generous.
Does it have any like bad parts about animals? Because I don't watch that stuff anymore, because all the nature documentaries will be like the crocodile eats the antelope, and I'm like, I can't.
No, they don't. Usually on David Attenborough's documentary, they don't like show that part of it. They just kind of get up to that part.
They do.
No, usually it gets like away right at the end. It's like, oh, he's gonna get it, and then all of a sudden you just see the little like deer like sauntering away.
I just can't handle that.
Yo, so okay, cool, great, lots of questions here. Let's get into this. Hello to Crystal. Hello, and everybody. Do you listen to the Rich Roll podcast? Frederico Luro asks. So I have to admit, I have fallen off with the Rich Roll podcast lately, but for no reason other than I'm just like doing other things, and I haven't put the time into listening to it. I used to like ride my bike to school and to work through the city, and I'd have about a half-hour bike ride every day. So I was listening to Rich Roll like on the way to and from work all the time. But now I don't really seem to have those idle, time like minutes where I'm just wanting to listen to something. So I don't. But man, some of those early Rich Roll podcasts absolutely changed my life, and it's such an amazing resource just to go back and listen to. Sometimes I'll go back and listen to the ones with like Dr. Rager and Dr. Neil Barnard, the one that I think he has two with Dr. Neil Barnard, but they're both just absolutely incredible. So yeah, let's see what else we got here. Hey, where did you get your shirt from? Someone asked. So this is, what are they called? Bros. That's all it is, Bros. I don't think it's on the label. No, but it's Bros. They sent it to me. It was like a couple years back. I just like how it fits kind of nice and tight around the arms. So what happened to excess protein intake? Just like fat gets stored as fat, what happens to protein? Well, just like with any of the three macronutrients, protein, fat, or carbohydrates, if you eat them in excess and you eat more than what your body needs, you will definitely store some. So yeah, that does happen. So just I don't know how else to answer that. Who is Rich Roll? Rich Roll, just check him out. Go check out who Rich Roll is. He's got a really cool story. He was
the man.
Yeah, he is the man. But he's he was a guy. I don't have to tell the story, but basically he was like just sort of he was like a lawyer, I think it was, litigate. I don't remember what kind of lawyer, but he was a lawyer. And in his past, he was like really athletic, and he was an athlete. And then as life kind of took its course, he fell out of that, and he got like a bit overweight, and he got into some trouble with like drinking and addictions. And there was like a turning point in his life where he was like, everyone knows this part. He was walking up the stairs, and he had like some pains in his heart, and he was like out of breath, and he was like, holy crap, this is like, I have to turn my life around. And he turned his life around, and he started doing like triathlons, and he ends up like being a competitive like triathlete, and he marathon, ultra, not even just triathletes, like ultra marathon triathletes, whatever they're called. Like, so yeah, it's crazy level of athleticism. So geez. That's Rich Roll for you.
He's amazing. Hopefully one day we can meet him and his wife.
Yeah, there was like a couple years ago there was he reached out to us, and he was like, "Oh, I heard you're in California. I'd love to have you on the podcast, but I just left." And I'm like, "No." So hopefully maybe next time. How's the bird bath doing that you made? It's doing great. Yeah, if you guys know, we just dug a little hole into like the ground, and we just filled it with some cement that we had left over from doing our pull-up bar, and it turned out really good. Come over. Oops. Why don't you come over a bit more here, Crystal? So When are you guys going to get married? Somebody paid $10 to find out. So, about marriage, right?
I feel like we're there at that point. We've been together for 7 years.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It doesn't really make a difference to me if I have a ring on my finger or not. I think it's more of like the relationship, like, you know, like trust and like we're just in this.
Yeah.
We've talked about this and stuff like that. It's not like we're just like, oh, I don't know if he like loves me enough to be with me forever.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we're at that point where we're just like this. So I don't know, we've kind of thought about it, but we've or talked about it, I should say, and it's just kind of like, like.
Yeah, I don't know. I know some people say it really changes things for them. Yeah. Others say that it doesn't, and I don't know. We just feel like so committed to each other. We're you know, such a big part of each other's lives. And that sort of like rite of passage, we don't come from like religious households or anything like that. Yeah. So that sort of rite of passage is, and not that you have to be religious to enjoy marriage, but I just mean it's never been like a big expectation, I don't think, right?
My parents were common law, for the majority of me growing up, they actually got engaged last year. And so I grew up, you know, 30 years with my parents not being married, but very committed to each other. And so it was never something in my head where I had to be like, oh, I have to get married to have that commitment, because my parents are, you know, committed to each other. So I guess that's kind of, and then I saw that as a kid. So I never had the dreams of like the white wedding and stuff like that. Cause I was like, oh, you don't have to get married to like have a loving relationship. It's
pretty much money in the bank for me right there.
and then you think about it, you're like, oh, having like a wedding and stuff could be expensive.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that.
We wouldn't have to necessarily have an expensive wedding. We'll have something nice eventually one day, but yeah, it's just not on our radar. We'd really like to move into our own place eventually here sometime.
We'd like to put money into like other things rather than jewelry.
And get a dog, but it's really nice, and it's like super heartwarming that people always ask about it, and that they want us to get married, because they just want to. Some people hold, you know, a lot of value in that, and they'd love to see the wedding, I'm sure, and us to make a video and see you, like you would look so beautiful in a wedding dress, although you look beautiful all the time. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, thank you for the question. Oh, cool. Someone said, been with my guy for nearly 30 years, got married, and it just got better. And it was bloody amazing to begin with. Okay, so we'll wait till things start like not being so good. Then we'll do that. You'll use that as like a boost.
In 30 years from now, if you guys are still watching the channel, maybe we'll get married.
Yeah. I'll work it into a full day of eating.
Yeah, a full day of eating at my wedding.
Get a dog. Good. Life goals. Yeah, exactly. Please get a dog. Trust me, we want to. We really want one. In the place where we're living here, but our landlord just like won't let us, even though we've been like amazing here. We pay rent on time all the time, and I fix up the house like constantly, and I'm always just like repairing it and being a good tenant. We asked him, we said, please, please, please. We even showed him a couple puppies that were available for us, but no dice. So that's why we have to move. It's going to cost us a freaking house to get a dog. We could move to another rental, but then we got such a good deal here that if we get another rental, then we're paying like pretty much just as much as we would for like a mortgage, you know, of course, minus the property tax and all the other expenses that come. So it's like, dang, we just don't know what to do. And houses are really expensive here on the West Coast, if you guys didn't know that, but I'm sure you did. But
maybe we'll be able to adopt a hamster or something.
Yeah, Crystal's pushing for like rats or a hamster. Rats, I don't think I can do.
They're so fun.
We actually have some out in the freaking garage that I'm trying to deal with.
And I wish they would come inside and be my friend.
All right, see, this is why we're not getting married. Okay? Oh, shoot. Do you have any idea what thickness gymnastics rings the wooden ones are for calisthenics? Best for calisthenics. I like mine. I could go measure them really quickly if Crystal will take this.
Well, no, because I don't think you have to do that. I think if you go on like
but they have different sizes. They have like 3/4 inch, 1 inch, 1.25. I don't know if I'm going to. When are we having kids? I don't know. As far as I'll try and I don't know what the ring size is. I'll try and get out there really quickly and measure it here if Crystal starts like chatting. When are we having kids? Yeah, that's another thing too. And we seem to answer this a lot in the live chats, and we don't want to totally spoil it. So you guys, you know, there's a bit of surprise, but we're probably not going to ever. But don't stop watching the channel if you're hoping that we do. Yeah, it's something we've talked about a lot, and it's just I don't know, really crazy times in this world right now for one, but that's not the only reason. It was, coming into this whole thing, the recent changes that have happened, whatever. We were definitely on the fence about it then, and we weren't really sure. And it's never really called to us. As much as I love kids and all that, I'm just pretty happy with my lifestyle now. And I know things change, when you have kids, and it's like everything is all about them, and it's amazing, and there's nothing. And I think it's like the most beautiful thing ever in this on this planet to have kids, because like thank goodness that my parents did, or else we wouldn't all be doing this right now. But just something not really in the cards for us like right now. Things might change in the future. Who knows? Would love to travel to Vancouver Island for a couple of months. Tips for traveling the area? First of all, probably don't need a couple months. It's not a very big island.
Yeah, I don't know what you would do for 2 months here.
But you want to go
It'd be fun, I mean, for sure. But
you want to go to any plans traveling when this is over? Okay, we'll answer that in a second. So you want to go to Victoria. That's the capital of. Is it the capital of? No, it's where our Parliament building is. Vancouver is the capital of British Columbia.
I'm pretty sure Victoria's the capital.
Oh, Victoria's the capital of British Columbia. There you go. That's where all the Parliament buildings are, but that's where all the young people live, and it's all hip and happening, everything down there. So you want to go to Victoria, and then come up island and just like drive through Parksville, check it out real quick, and then go to Tofino. Those are really like your destinations here that you want to check out. Check out the beaches in Qualicum and Parksville here, of course, they're beautiful, but Victoria, Tofino, if you just split your time in between those places, you'll be pretty happy.
Peter asked, do we have any plans to travel when this is all over? If we can.
And you can.
Yeah. No idea. I mean, obviously you guys know that we usually like to go to California in like the January, February months, because where we live, thankfully, it's not like a terrible winter, but it's still like pretty wintry. And so we like to have that, break up. So it's like we go to LA and then it's like we come back and it's kind of spring. But that's not going to happen.
Yeah. And then I was supposed to be going to the UK like just now, or maybe it already supposed to happen for the vegan camp out. And I was really excited to talk there. And actually kind of nervous as well, because it's like going to be a way bigger audience than I've ever spoken to before. But it didn't happen. And so they messaged me recently and want me to go back, or they want me to like kind of sign up for the next one, hopefully for next year. But they said we don't know if this is going to happen. And judging on how the things are in the UK and the government there, they just sent them into like gnarly lockdown again. So anyways, I don't know, but okay. Any plans? We don't have any plans to travel because we don't know, what's going to be available to us in the future. This is like, it's terrible. So yeah, more traveling just around, probably British Columbia here. And, that's about what we can do for now. So I don't know what to tell you, but, I miss it. I do. I miss it a lot. Have you read Mastering Diabetes by Cambata and Barbero? Vegan, low-fat, ultra-high carb, like the McDougall diet. Yes. No, I haven't read that.
I've read it.
Crystal read it.
It's great. It's a great book, especially for people with insulin resistance, diabetes, PCOS, gestational diabetes, any type of insulin-resistant or chronic disease. Fantastic.
Yeah, I definitely need to get into it. I got the Coles notes from Crystal, but those guys are the masters of that, and they're putting out really, really important information, because a lot of people don't know about the whole like fat and insulin resistance tie there, and they're definitely like doing really good things to make that more well known. So yeah, have you ever watched? Oh, saw somebody up here. Have you ever watched any John Joseph videos? I lost where it was, but I like John Joseph. He's pretty cool. Definitely not it's not my approach the way that he does, but he definitely has like a certain target audience, and he gets them, and it's fun to listen to, and I like how he's so passionate. Yeah, so definitely know about John Joseph. So would taking creatine impair your body's ability to produce its own long term? So as far as I have researched and as far as I know, no, it does not have any effect on your own body's long term production of creatine. In fact, as soon as you stop taking it, just makes it. So yeah, it's not something to worry about. I made your sweet potato pie. It was really good, but didn't set up as well as with eggs. Do you think aquafaba would work in place of a flax egg? you could definitely try. I don't know. I'm not super familiar with using aquafaba to thicken things.
A really popular thing that people do is they'll use cornstarch,
Yeah.
or arrowroot powder. Unfortunately, I made a bunch of pumpkin pies before I made that sweet potato pie, and I used arrowroot powder, and they did not set up at all. Like I don't know why, but it just happened. And then when I did the sweet potato pie, I tried the flaxseed because we don't have cornstarch here. I didn't go out and buy any, and it worked really well for us. So I mean, I don't know, it can depend on like a bunch of different factors, but I would suggest maybe trying cornstarch and then seeing how much cornstarch replaces like 1 egg in a recipe. So I think it's like maybe 1 or 2 tablespoons or something, because a lot of the recipes I saw use cornstarch to thicken. So that would be another idea. But yeah, we're not familiar with using aquafaba, but I would say try that. And yeah, I'm sorry that it didn't set up so well.
Yeah.
It kind of bums me out, but it can happen, right?
It does happen. I mean, we tried a whole bunch, and yeah, it was like finally we got a recipe that set up. And we're like, okay, let's just like do this one.
No,
Hold your breath.
I tested it like 3 times, and it worked really well. So it can just it could be so many things when you're baking. That's the kind of hard thing. We got all those.
Oh, okay, sweet. So from Havard Hunstad. Love to see more videos of you doing alternative exercises outside. Keep up the good work, from a fellow cyclist runner from Norway. Yeah, thanks. So yeah, as a lot of you guys know, if you follow me close enough, I've recently fallen even further in love with like mountain biking, and I've been doing that a lot. So I'll probably work it into a video here or there, but it's not going to turn into like a mountain biking channel, partly because I'm not very good at it. And second of all, it's not what you guys are here to see. But yeah, I love, that part of my life, just like being athletic outside of the gym is really important to me. That's the whole reason why I work out, like so that I can, be fit in other areas of my life. You got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready, kind of thing. I saw somebody asked, did I answer that? Was that right?
Yep, that was right. It was just love to see more videos. So I mean, Derek will probably like put them in, put his mountain biking and stuff in when the weather's good.
Yeah, it's coming.
We can film it.
Somebody asked me what my favorite car was, so it's like that's a tough question for me. Like if I actually think about it, I'll have like smoke coming out of my ears. But I just love JDM cars, like Japanese cars from the late 80s, 90s, early 2000s are like my jam. Absolutely love it. Too Fast and Furious for life here, but ain't got nothing against BMWs, Audis, anything like that. I just like all cars, and I especially like cars if people are passionate about their own car. I could talk about cars all day, but it doesn't matter what it is. If someone has like a Honda Civic, and for them that's like their Porsche, and they baby it and they polish it all the time, I'm so hyped on like any car that someone just like loves, and I love all cars. Which one?
So someone asked, I think this is just a really great question. Do we really need vitamin D and omega-3 supplements?
So it depends. Depends, right? So this is actually an interesting question, because just yesterday in our Facebook group, some people were talking about the omega-3s, and they just got a blood test. So I'll touch on that in a second. First, I'll answer the D3 one. Vitamin D, if you live somewhere that has the 4 seasons, and or you're not getting outside a lot, like if you live in California but you work indoors all the time and you don't spend a lot of time outside under the sun, then yeah, you definitely want to take vitamin D.
100%.
But especially if you live in the northern hemisphere, and Canada, Europe, UK, all that sort of stuff. You definitely want to be taking it. What were you gonna say?
I just said I had a blood test like many years ago.
Oh yeah.
And my vitamin D levels were so low, and because I hadn't been supplementing, I think a lot of people sometimes think like supplementation is like, it's not good, but it's there for a reason. Like we should lead into like science. And like if you live in Canada, or if you live somewhere where it is winter for many months of the year, vitamin D supplementation can really help, and vitamin D is so important. So that kind of was like a wake-up call where I was like, oh, I should probably supplement vitamin D, because I definitely don't get enough in the winter. So
no. So yeah, that is an important one. Thanks for the reminder. I'm not the best at considering.
And then omega-3 supplements?
Yeah, definitely. I just wanted to make that clear.
Everyone's vitamin D.
Well, not every, but yeah, a lot of us are. Not everyone is on the very low end, unless generally, unless they're supplementing. So, and then the other one about omega-3. So somebody in the Facebook group was saying, hey, do you guys have a recommendation for a good omega-3 supplement? Because I've been consuming lots of flax and chia, this sort of stuff, and I got my blood test back, and my omega-3 levels was low, that they said. So this might not be the norm because, you know, we should be able to convert a certain amount of the parent omega-3 molecule ALA into EPA and DHA. However, the percentage that you convert differs from person to person.
Yeah.
So if you're consuming a lot of omega-6, like rich foods, then your conversion rate's going to go down. If you're a little bit older, conversion goes down. Females seem to convert it a little bit better than males. So, but then there's also the genetic component to it as well. So yeah, of course, like we want to be eating these foods, but for some people, yeah, there might be a need for supplementing with the omega-3. So definitely blood tests are the best way to check this stuff out rather than just like haphazardly like supplementing
Yeah.
or wasting your money on, you know, maybe something that you don't need. Although, you know, I don't think that is going to be the case for, you know, most people, but yeah, just get that flax, hemp, chia, walnut, India for the omega-3s, and then get your blood tested and
go from there.
yeah, and go from there. So
That one.
this one?
Hari.
Oh, right here. It's open. Yeah. Hey, love you guys. I tried the Thanksgiving dishes, but I hate when there's a but in there when they try
Oh
our
no,
recipes.
but it's not our fault.
Oh, but
my blender decided to
my
stop
blender
working.
decided to stop working. So I put the mushrooms with the pot
and
and
carrots,
carrots, and it was still amazing. Okay, I love that. Thank you so much.
That's the best.
Yeah, so you saved it. That's what it's all about. I can't believe that would be the worst. Like blender, like just stops working in the middle of like making a sauce for Thanksgiving.
Man, what?
Yeah, there's so many good questions here. Which ones I answer?
So one question we get a lot, which I'm going to answer, or not I'm going to answer, but I'm just going to mention, is someone mentioned Vivo Life products, and they said, how do you get them in Canada? Because everything is in American or it's in the UK, and they won't ship to Canada. So Vivo Life is working on a Canadian warehouse.
Yeah, I got a guy, first of all. That's how I get it.
Because Derek's an ambassador, he's able to get products sent to him, but sometimes we pay duty on it, and that's the whole thing why Vivo Life stopped sending to Canada, is because you were getting like nailed.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like,
it was insane.
It wasn't Vivo's
Really
fault. It was just
expensive.
what happened at the border with Canada, and like all of a sudden they tightened up. I don't know what they did. Like it's not like it's not like they're sending like drugs or anything in here, like something that's not safe. So I don't know why, but like they were holding on to a lot of the stuff that was coming in, like supplements and stuff that are coming in from other countries, and then they'd hold it. They send you a message, be like, "Hey, we got this for you. However, you got to get a mortgage broker
Not a
first."
mortgage broker.
No, customs broker.
Custom broker.
Mortgage. They're like, you got to get a house first.
Yeah, and you got to work on affording a house.
I was thinking the house still. Customs broker, and then you got to liaison back and forth with them a little bit. You have to pay them, and they get like a cut of like the whole. It was like ridiculous, and of course, people who were in Canada were like getting mad at people, like, "Yo, I just bought this off you, and now I'm having to pay all this extra." And of course, that didn't have anything to do with them, but it looked bad on them. So they said, "Okay, we got to pull out for now until we can figure this out." So they're trying to get warehouses here in Canada so that they can ship. It'll be quicker shipping and less expensive, hopefully, for everybody. But yeah, let's just get that Vivo in Canada. So yeah, I know, and I do try and like mention that on my stories sometimes and stuff, but I just can't, like, every single time I mention Vivo Life, I can't be like, oh, but if you're in Canada, you know. So I'm sorry that it's like kind of confusing, probably frustrating for some people, but hopefully it gets solved really quickly. I know they are working on it all the time because I bug them all the time, and they tell me that they're working on it. Who's the one with what's the weed leaf all about there?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just going through.
Oh, okay. Any plans on having any tattoos? For me, no, I don't have any, and I don't plan on getting any, really. Crystal has a whole bunch, of course, but you know, the one thing that I've considered getting, and I've said this before on here, is like her wave signature of her laugh, because you guys know Crystal has like an amazing laugh, and whenever I'm editing my videos, I can see like the little, like, you know, I can see when she's laughing, and I don't know, that would be like pretty cool. It would just be like a tattoo, like it'd be like so I probably won't get that, but no, I've never really thought about it. How is my relationship with Vivo Life these days? I think I don't know. Are you from Vivo Life?
Yeah,
like,
it's good.
Are you on the inside?
Did they say anything about it?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, things are great with Vivo Life. I'm going to be doing a podcast with Josh, one of the owners of Vivo Life, I think this week.
The 20th.
So soon. And then, I don't know, what the heck does it say?
Plan his life.
Shh, don't tell him that. And things are great. Yeah. And they're coming out with some new products. They have a new... No, they released it. We're allowed to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like these capsules that are like a multivitamin, but sort of similar to the Thrive with like coming from Whole Foods and stuff. But this is concentrated in a capsule. It's like really cool and going to be their most affordable product yet, they said. Would you force your child to be vegan? Well, would we force them to eat meat? I don't know. That would be the question to ask, wouldn't it?
Someone asked, best ways to supplement B12.
Pills, Nooch, fortified beverages, preferred brands. So, yeah, I think that probably a liquid supplement is probably the best. You could definitely get some from Nutritional yeast. However, it's not like reliable. They don't supplement all or fortify all nutritional yeast, I don't think, with B12.
Yeah, no, they don't.
And you don't know how much, right? And you don't know how much are you actually eating. So it's really not like a reliable like source of it. And do you really want to like, you know, risk like your B12 intake on like some joker who's like getting paid like $7 on the assembly line, just like throwing in like, okay, throwing a little in this batch, a little in that batch.
I don't know, yeah.
I don't know if that's how it works, but it doesn't actually like just naturally make the B12.
It's such a cost-effective supplement you can get. We get liquid so you can control it better. Vivo Life actually makes the B12. Look at that.
Yeah.
But it's just such an easy way to supplement. It's just so easy. It's like such an insurance policy. Do you know what I mean? Rather than being like, oh, I hope I'm getting enough from food and stuff. And yeah, you might be, but it's just so easy.
It's a really small amount that you get
so
in the milks. It's such a small amount. So you'd have to be drinking it, you know, pretty often. Another quick note about B12 though, and the reason why I like taking it in a liquid form as opposed to like a pill is because a lot of the pills are like 1,000 micrograms. Some are even like 2,000, some are 5,000 micrograms, and that is way higher than the RDI. And while it's not necessarily dangerous to take more than the RDI of B12, it's definitely what happens to some people and happens to me as well. And I'm sure some of you guys, if you watch closely or you're into this, you know, but it can actually cause breakouts in some people if you consume, you know, a large dose or you know, a lot of B12, and that happens to me. I don't often get very many pimples anymore, thank goodness, because I had such terrible skin when I was, or I don't want to say terrible, I just had problematic skin when I was younger, and now I know if I take that 1,000 microgram dose like for 3-4 days straight, all of a sudden, yeah, I will start to get some more pimples, and it's directly related to that, and there's some science behind it as well. It's a pretty small study, but it seems to be, you know, replicated in a lot of anecdotes as well, and a lot of other people who have this issue. So, just want to let you know this because it's important. If you switch to a vegan diet and you start taking all sorts of B12, and you're like, "Dang, I think this vegan diet's giving me acne or whatever." Hey, it might not be. It might just be that you're taking too much B12. Of course, you want to get your blood tested to make sure that you're in the range, and you're taking the right amount. But for me, I try and take a combined dose of 2,500 micrograms throughout the week. And I'm not amazing at this, and I can't say I remember this much every single week, but so I'll try and take like a 500 microgram dose, like, you know, throughout the week, a few times throughout the week. That's kind of what I try to do, but don't always get there. Hey, Derek, or hey, Crystal. This is from Madisha Bedik. Sorry if I can't pronounce these names. We're very Canadian over here, so we don't get a lot of experience with these things. Crystal, how long have you been vegan? Experience transitioning. A friend wants to switch, but she's worried about health. Nutrition, NutriBooks for females. Okay, give me 1 minute. I'm gonna go outside and measure that thing for that person.
Hopefully he's still here.
Yeah, and then you just tell him that.
Oh goodness. Okay. Hopefully you can find your tape measure. So I've been vegan for 11 years now, and when I first transitioned, I cut out meat first, and then from there just like progressively kind of was like, I don't really want dairy or eggs. I didn't really enjoy those foods very much anyways, like eggs. And so yeah, transitioning for me was pretty easy actually, and I just did it. With your friend, if she wants to switch but she's worried about health, there is actually a book. I haven't personally read this book. It is on a list of books that I want to read, and I brought it up here so you guys can hopefully see it okay. It's called Vegan for Her, and it is a plant-based guide for women that want to go vegan, and it is by Virginia Messina. And so this is a really great book that your friend could look into. There's also another really great book that isn't geared towards women, but it is by a dietitian. I believe her name is Sharon Palmer, and it is called The Plant Powered Diet. I'll try to look it up on my phone to see if I can find it. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. And it is fantastic. It's like it's a pretty big book, and it has all the information that you need in it. And I wish I had it still, but I actually lent it out to someone. And I haven't gotten it back. But this is a fantastic book if you want to learn more about plant-based vegan nutrition and want to make sure that you are like eating enough and all the nutrients in your food. So I highly suggest those two. And there's no need for her to be worried. It's actually a really great thing to go plant-based. It's so good for your hormones. So thank you so much for the question. And Derek is back to take over.
So we're gonna try and measure this. Somebody asks while we're doing this, they asked, Derek, are you religious? And I guess you weren't listening earlier when we were talking about getting married, but no, I'm not religious. Yeah, if you are, I think that is great, as long as it's not, hurting or putting anybody else down. But it's I didn't grow up in a religious family, and it's never really been part of my life.
I'd say you're more like spiritual, if anything. And spirituality is just kind of sometimes just connecting with nature. It can be anything, really. Yeah. And I feel like you're kind of more that way, I guess. Yeah. But while you're measuring that, yeah, here we go. Someone asked something really cool. They asked what your current goals are, like fitness-wise. Oh. I think they actually asked maybe like how much you weigh too or something. Okay. But, well, I'm currently like 147 pounds. Oh my goodness. Why are you laughing? I don't know what that is in kilograms. Probably around 65 kilograms, I think. And yeah, so I'm not very big. I'm a little guy, 5'6". But my goals right now, it's funny because it's hard to know, right? Because as a guy, you want to like have some, okay, not all guys, but for me, I want to have some muscle, right? And it's like you start identifying with this sort of persona of like, being, having muscles and looking a certain way. And it's kind of like scary to think about like, changing that, because I don't know, just in life, I think in general, we always want to like improve and move forward, get better at things. For the first many years that I was working out, I was like super gung-ho, just like wanted to smash all the weights all the time. But now I've kind of like, I've built some muscle, and I'm happy with the physique that I've got. It's I'm not making like crazy mad gains anymore, because it's like as a natty lifter, it's like hard after you get to a certain point. So for me, I think it's just like sort of maintaining what I have. If I can sort of get a little bit more, a bit more muscle, I'll definitely be happy with that. But maintaining where I am, I really want to like strengthen up like my core and just, continue to be like healthy and fit. And I really want to improve on my mountain biking, because I've been mountain biking my whole life. And I am like good at riding, but I'm not very good at like anything else, like jumps. I'm good at like skinnies, like doing like really skinny things and like getting through like technical stuff, and I can do pretty good on the steep things. But man, like I just want to learn how to jump. Basically, I just want to fly. That's all I want to do. So yeah. Anyways, Anyways, yeah. I'm trying to measure this. Like I couldn't find my measuring tape, of course. What is that? Oh, but then. Oh my god! You're just like, that's so funny. Like, yeah. Just some jokers in the chat. So we got this looks like it is. Oh my gosh! Hold on. 1 1/4 inches. This is so. I don't know how they measure it, but yeah, it's 1 1/4 inches across, and they have a split in them, and they're moldy because I leave them outside, but they're still good. So yeah. 1.25 inches is what I have, and I find it to be just perfect for it's definitely 1 1/4. I wanted to make sure, because you can like hardly even see like this. This was my dad's. It's pretty cool, from England. Represent. But yeah, so it's a perfect. I think this is a good size, and if anything, tiny bit big for my hands, but as you guys know, I'm not huge, so I have fairly, not the biggest hands. Whatever. Make what you will of it. I live in Victoria, Canada, and also wanted to know if you know about the Animal Protection Party of Canada. They run federally as a vegan animal party. I saw something in the Vancouver Vegans Facebook group the other day about people are like, who are you voting for? If you don't vote for NDP in this election, you're not vegan. And then people are like, yeah, but the NDPs do this to the animals. And then people are like, you got to vote for this. And then they mentioned that that party. So yeah, I'll definitely I don't even honestly.
I don't think they have.
They have.
I've never seen it here.
A candidate here
in our riding. Yeah.
When we voted, I've never seen any candidates for that party on our ballot slips. So we'll have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, there's. Should we mention that? It's so funny.
No. Somebody asked what kind of bike I recently got. So I've been riding a hardtail bike most of my life, and I think it's a good place for people to start. You get much better bike for your money than if you go with a full suspension bike, and it's generally a little bit lighter, less to sort of tinker with, and it teaches you how to like ride the trails really well. So I used to have a hardtail Kona Caldera. It was like a 2004 mountain bike. This is so old. I can't believe I still ride it. But recently got a Giant Trance 2. It's a 2016 model, has some upgrades. It's got a dropper post. It's got a 1x11 or 1x10 drivetrain. Yeah, it's a trail bike, so it's like just one step up from a cross-country bike, but it's got, I think it's 140 millimeters of travel front and rear, and it's light, and it's just like amazing. Way better than me. Hardtail for life. Yeah, people that love hardtail. Dude, I love that. I love that there's like people that are in this community that are like into like different things, like into the biking, into skateboarding, like some people are asking about cars. It's just so cool that we kind of like, we all have this like core of like, you know, healthy eating and veganism around us, but then we have all these other like things that are,
I don't know. I rode a hardtail for a long time. I like the full suspension myself. Just it's I don't know, but I'm not that experienced. But now that I have a bit more suspension, it's kind of nice, especially because you can like adjust it and stuff. That's kind of fun.
Yeah. So I actually did buy a bike in between those called the Specialized Stump Jumper, and I kind of jumped on it because it was sort of like I thought it was a good deal. Turned out it wasn't such a good deal, but it's a little bit big for me. It's a 29er. So Crystal, she's a little taller than me. And so she got the hand-me-down, but it's sweet, and it's perfect for her. It's perfect.
Wait, it's called the Stump Jumper, Specialized Stump Jumper. It's a really common bike, really well-known, sought after. But my nickname for it is the Stump Humper. So I call it the Stump Humper, and I love that name so much. Derek was not amused when they came up with it. He was like, that's not the name of my bike.
No.
But now it's my bike, and I can call it the Stump Humper.
You generally in mountain biking, you want to be jumping over stumps, not humping stumps. But hey, up to you. Okay, let's see. Oh gosh, yeah, that guy is in the chat. We got
Should I get on the chat?
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever, I don't really care. You can watch. Wow, I've never caught anyone live before. Welcome, Terry. This is exciting. So, buckle up because you're in for a wild ride. Somebody just asks Wim Hof. Good question.
You have tried the Wim Hof method.
Yeah, I did. I had a cold shower once. It was cold. No, I you know what? Just not. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a glutton for like punishment for that kind of stuff for some reason, and I think that people that are, I think it's like great for them, and I think I could probably benefit from like going outside of my comfort zone a little bit, doing some things like that. But yeah, I have not found myself in the Wim Hof method. You guys were strangely in my dreams last night, and then like, what's up with this chat? Why does it always do that?
As soon as I move it, kind of hard to navigate.
Okay. Okay, favorite brand of athletic shorts. Also, do you carry a first aid kit when mountain biking? So a couple good questions there. My favorite brand of athletic shorts. Well, the only ones I really wear, there's like, I don't know, I got some at Winners that were like, I don't know, some knockoff brand. But
no, they're like Jordia or something, or G or Dan.
No, that's my biking shorts.
Yeah.
But athletic shorts, the ones that I usually wear are like Lululemon ones. Yeah, I know, not the best. But I have two pairs. I've had one pair for like 2.5 years now, and they look brand new still, and I wear them like all the time. So that's how I kind of justify, buying. I never used to buy like more expensive things like this. Like if I saw shorts that were like $45, I'd be like, heck no. But you know what?
They last a while.
They last a while.
You've had those for so long.
Yeah, I know. But the nice thing about them is I'm a bit shorter of a guy, and they fit you really well. They have like different inch lengths on their shorts, so I could get like a shorter inch length. I forget the ones that I have. It's like 5 or 6 inch length.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
5 inch, I think.
5 inch sounds about right.
We do not carry a first aid kit when we're biking. That was the other question.
No, okay.
I want to start carrying one, but
you can
we're also like doing really beginner stuff that like hopefully nothing bad happens from.
Yeah,
we're not like not like shredding.
When you mount bike, you have to pack pretty light. Like you have to decide what you're gonna bring, because if your backpack's too heavy, it could throw you around, and then there's more of a chance of you actually falling off your bike. So we wear a lot of protective gear. We have full face helmets now. We decided that was a cheaper investment than like going to the dentist. And then we wear knee pads as well. But the thing is, you just progress really slowly. And if you're questioning something and you're a beginner like Crystal, it's like, no, we get off our bike, we walk down it, and we look at the obstacle. Can we do that? Do you think maybe? And then, maybe Crystal will try it, and I'll be there kind of watching to make sure. But, we're not just haphazardly like flying, or Crystal isn't just haphazardly flying down trails.
But we should get like something. But I'm just trying to think of like
what are we
I know for Band-Aids. I know, and you're
not gonna help you with the problems you're gonna have.
Yeah, you're right.
And then like it's like we can bring like a splint or something, and like it's like no, hopefully that doesn't happen.
I guess not.
But I bet you I didn't see who asked that question. I bet you they're a mom, and I bet they're amazing.
Or they're just like, yo, what?
Oh man, that got me laughing. I just started. So Ronald Suarez asks, I've just started calisthenics, but I don't have a workout plan or training routine to do for my goals. Can you give me some sources, books, or just knowledge on how to train properly? No, I can't. I'm just kidding. The thing, I've kind of avoided doing it because I don't feel like I'm a professional at it. Like what I've done is just like, I always played sports all my life. So I was really athletic, but not only that, it like really taught me how to like push yourself. Right. And, how to like get out of that comfort zone and to, really like push and move forward. So, and the dedication. So that's what it comes down to. And that's kind of like why I made my gains. And like, there's a saying that says even a broken clock tells the right time twice a day. And sometimes that's how I feel when I'm working out. It's like, if you just try really hard and do it for long enough, you'll make some gains. But no, okay. So a couple of things like with calisthenics, it's so hard because a beginner can be somebody that can, just hang on the bar or can't hang on the bar or can do like 4 pull-ups. Like that's kind of all a beginner. And to get, through those stages is a lot of work. So, so basically just I know you're going to say something. I know I'm talking so much.
I have resources.
Oh, okay. We'll let Crystal give the resources in just a sec. But for me, it's like all about the basics. When I started, it was all about just the basics and variations of the basics. So lots of push-ups. And then it's like, hey, I've been doing these for a long time. Let's try like diamond push-ups. Oh, let's try push-ups like a little bit more like this. And then, let's try like raising my legs to make it a little different like that. So something to think about really quickly is like with any workout, whether you're doing calisthenics or weight training, is there's a couple different like planes of motion, and you can so with pushing, you can push away from you like this, or you can push away from you like that. So you want to incorporate both of those into your workout, and any sort of like variation in between that. You can even push down too, and that would be a dip, right? So you just have to think about doing like a variety of all these movements. Same with pulling. You can pull from here, you can pull from here, you can pull from here. So you just want to like vary all these different things and just find the basics that kind of cover all these different like large movements, and try to do around 10 reps. Try and do 3 to 4 sets when you're a beginner. And then as you progress, you can try and play around with different sets and reps.
So for resources, if you're looking for training programs, there is a website called Reddit, REDDIT.com, and they have a body fitness Reddit, and they have so many things for calisthenics on there. People have like their own routines. People will upload their own routines and be like, hey, what does this look like? It's great. And I think there's also what's the subreddit called? I believe it's called Bodyweight Fitness, but I believe there's also one called Calisthenics. You'll just have to search. And then as far as like apps go, I think, is it Freeletics that does bodyweight stuff? And then there's I can't remember that guy's name that does calisthenics on YouTube. With Fenex. So yeah, with the tattoos. So a really, really great place to start would be looking at Fenex videos. So that's THENX. And then he also has an app. And apparently the app's amazing because it actually has like your workouts, and it'll tell you what to do. And it structures like a plan if you're a beginner, advanced, or like intermediate. And that is definitely some resources that we would start at. And then of course there's like Frank Madrano that you can look at. I think you had a workout book from him. I did. A bit different.
Yeah, a lot of these workout plans, I find that people, like, this is my thing. It's like, if I make a workout guide, it's like so basic. It's just like, and I feel like bad charging to tell somebody to do this many push-ups, this many like dips, this many whatever. And those really are what helped me, make the gains. But I think a lot of these workout programs, they get like kind of, they want to show you like, more complicated movements. And then you end up like, kind of doing these things. And you're like, really, like, is this like, like 7-second like movement where I'm like doing all this stuff? Is this really going to like progress me towards like gaining muscle and getting fitter? And a lot of the time it's like, it's probably too confusing. So
someone else in the comments, they recommended minus the gym, which I believe is probably on YouTube, and also Cali movement.
Oh,
so,
and then that's good money on YouTube as well. Money. Cool. Alrighty, that's great. So moving on here, we got Follow Yogi with a super chat. Any tips for someone with a low appetite / anxiety? I guess those are connected for you. Okay, well, man, yeah, anxiety, like hard times out there for everyone. Let me just say that. No matter what sort of your beliefs are right now, it's hard for everybody. And I thought, and it's like, so just know that you're not alone, like being, stressed and everything right now. It's a tough time. So, meditation's a great one. And I saw somebody was asking if I meditate in the chat, and it's not something that I actively do, but I do find that I do come back to my breath when I need it. Like if I'm in line at the grocery store or something, and like, it's whatever, I'm in a rush or it's hectic and someone's taking their time, like getting their car out, chatting with this person, and find myself getting that tight chest feeling, like anxious and like kind of annoyed. I just come back to my breath, and I just like remember, that is my reminder that I need to come back to my breath and just take some deep breaths. And maybe the same for you before you eat. Just like take a seat and just like sit and just like breathe first. Your food's still going to be there after, and just like take some breaths and just like take some time to relax. And that's really important. Is this a girl? A girl? Yeah. I actually did take what was it? Not milk thistle, but it was another. Remember I took for appetite. It's an appetite suppressant or appetite stimulant.
Oh, blessed thistle.
Blessed thistle. Blessed thistle is a supplement. Of course, check with your doctor. But it is a supplement that can increase your appetite. It'll also increase your breast milk if you're, didn't do that for me, but it can do that as well. But yeah, definitely, like that is a supplement that can increase, and it worked for me as well. What do you think, Crystal? I think
it's important to understand where the anxiety is coming from. So if you're having anxiety because of the state of the world, maybe like not being online, not watching news, just logging off and unplugging, and then taking yourself outside. I know when the pandemic started, and I'm not trying to say that it's because of the pandemic, but I know when it started, I was very anxious and I was feeling the same way. Like it was hard to eat because I was just feeling all these feelings, and I would go outside for like a run or something, or just get my body moving. I would listen to music or maybe a podcast and like take my mind off of what I was feeling, and that really helped. And then of course, like I was kind of like hungry when I got home, and so I was like, oh, I have to eat. Yeah, and then just like logging off. The other thing too is your picture. It looked like you were female. Like I don't want to like say that that's how you identify, but if you have a menstrual cycle, and that's like all what I'm about, but menstrual cycle awareness can be really helpful in addressing anxiety, because it could be stemming from, possible hormone fluctuations. It could be a certain time in your cycle where you're experiencing that and you're feeling really like tender. Self-care is so important. And a lot of times we don't give ourselves what we need. We push through, we work in this linear model of productivity, but we're cyclical. Giving yourself self-care and setting boundaries can be so helpful. And then talking to people and expressing how you're feeling, I remember telling Derek when I was feeling anxious, like I'm feeling really anxious and stuff like that. He'd be like, okay, deep breathe, and just telling people there's no shame in it. We all struggle. We all have these things. And the more that we can talk about it and get help and support and possible therapy, the better. And it's, you have permission to get better and heal and stuff like that. And that's what we want for you. So
go check out Crystal's channel for more of this.
So thank you for asking that, because it can be really hard to reach out and talk about like low appetite and anxiety and all these things that can be affected from, you know, different root causes.
It's amazing how getting out into nature and just exercising a little bit and not like doing high intensity stuff, just like walking or a light jog or whatever, like how amazingly that can change your mood and the place that you're at. So Matt Wallace has a question. So he says, hey, both your exercise advice for working night shifts. Been working 2 years and 12 hours nights and sedentary. I think there was a question before this. Yeah.
Well, let's just get to that question, then we'll open the other ones.
Oh, okay. You're already in it. Sorry, been vegan for 3 years, but put on weight in the last year and struggling now with any fitness. So go back to that one. Sorry, I just wanted to like 12 nights. Been working 2 years and 12-hour nights.
Yeah, night shifts are hard. I used to do night shifts, and they suck the life out of you. I don't know how people exercise and do night shifts. Like, it's really difficult. What can be really helpful is like doing things, like don't think of like fitness having to be like, oh, I gotta be a bodybuilder and I gotta deadlift and squat and do all these really hard things. Like going out for a walk is really powerful. You know, a 30-minute walk, maybe before your shift, in the middle of your day, or maybe like after you get up, like, or after your shift, I should say, or like an hour or two before you go to work. Like just getting your body moving, or you could possibly do like a bike ride, or you could get like a bike trainer in your house. That's a great way of just getting moving, but not having to do like something super intense.
Yeah,
you know?
Doing something that you like makes it seem less like working out. Like when Crystal and I go mountain biking and we're climbing the hills, like I never work out that hard. At the top of the hill, I'm like sweating, like gasping for breath, but I don't really realize it because I'm usually like enjoying, like looking in nature, having fun. And I guess, and I'm like at the top, I'm like, man, I never push myself this hard with like anything. So, and I think it's important to remember too, that you don't have to, like, I know it's hard to like think, okay, I'm just going to get back to the gym and like, I'm just going to like smash it and do everything I used to, but like, you got to just start like really slow. So even if that just means doing 10 push-ups today, you know, that's something, and it's better than nothing. But if you just sit on your couch and you're like, hey, I got to do something, I got to go to the gym, and it's going to be like an hour workout, but I only have like an hour and a half now till I pick the kids up, and like, yeah, I just don't have time for that. I'm probably going to be sore tomorrow, and I know I have to do this, and I don't want to be, and then it's like, so you're just making it too big in your head. So it's like, just start with something. It's like, one push-up, doesn't matter what it is, but if you could start just create like something small, 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups in a day. Do that every day, you know, or every couple days for a week, and then move it up to 100 or something like that. But just start really slow and incrementally increase. Like I always tell everyone, like fitness and just like general fitness is the world's longest endurance race. There is no finish line to it.
No finish line.
So you just gotta keep on going.
Even though it seems like there is. You see people online, oh my God, look at them. They're finished. They're just the pinnacle. They're grinding, you know, and they haven't probably reached what they think is the pinnacle. So like don't get yourself. So
Nutrition Bros. Okay, I know these
Bros.
guys. What is up? So finally caught one of your lives. Thanks for being a massive influence in getting my brother and I started with nutrition studies and calisthenics training. Don't check out these guys because you'll see that how much I suck at calisthenics after doing it for like 6 years. Now these guys, they're really cool, and they tag me a lot. I really appreciate it, and to know that I've inspired you, and you go on to inspire so many people. The butterfly effect is so strong, and you guys are awesome. And I saw, I don't know which one of you it was the other day, but the planche in your stories your Instagram posts. I'm definitely jealous, but still not making any moves towards the planche. So don't expect it anytime soon.
We also had another question that we missed, so we're not sure of the name. You can always put it in the comments, but it was him and his wife had started a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they're trying to build an audience. So they're wondering like, what's the best way to build an audience, which is like a great question. I think that can help a lot of people.
Yes.
So thank you for that question. We really appreciate it.
If that's your channel, and
we appreciate the super chat too. It was like so kind of you.
Yeah, super kind. I wish we could have got to that when the super chat was up, because then people could have seen your name. So put your name in the corner, be like, yeah, I'm the one with the channel, but so we know. But okay. Okay, first of all, I feel like I got lucky. I got into YouTube when there wasn't a ton of people like doing YouTube veganism in the YouTube scene, but there was enough that there was interest in it. Like, you know, the the sort of like high carb, like Durian Rider Freely sort of thing was like really popping off then. And John Venus was just, he was doing his like vlog. So I kind of, and there's Brian. There wasn't a ton of others. So it's really saturated now. So first of all, I got really lucky. Don't know if I'd be able to break out, in today's day and age. But something I think was really important was that like, I wasn't scared to be like vulnerable and show like my, my personality and show my failures and that sort of stuff. Of course, not all of them. People don't need to know every time you're having a bad day or you break a nail or something. But, the struggles, I think it's important to show. And then finding, this is like the most important thing is like finding a niche that is, that resonates with you. It's going to resonate with other people as well. So you want to find an audience or a market that's big enough that there's going to be enough people that it's going to be a good community, but not so broad that it doesn't spark people's interest and emotion. So if you just say, we're a vegan channel, we want to help you be healthy, people are going to be like, meh, it's probably pretty cool, but there's like 100,000 other channels that are like this. But if you're like, yo, what's up? We got, this is a plant-based channel. We've got our dog Sparky here. He loves to do these sorts of athletics. And we've got our kid here who loves to hang from the rafters. And we're just a wild and crazy vegan family. And we want to take you guys along. Yeah. Then all of a sudden people are like, whoa, like,
I have a dog. I have a kid. Look at this. We can watch this like the whole family.
Exactly. So with me, it was sort of like, veganism, being positive, doing calisthenics, building up my body. And then always with like a passion and focus on like nature, right? And it's like a really weird niche, but there's obviously like, hey, are you interested in
nature and calisthenics?
But there's obviously enough people that sort of resonate with that, right? And another thing that I've always found really interesting, and this is sort of like a little bit of my marketing background here for you guys, is now it's the best way to sort of sell people something is to sell them a feeling or an emotion, not like a product. And I'm not saying that I sell you guys on this, but it's like showing your lifestyle, right? So the way I always think about it is like, those coffee commercials where the person is like, they're like, they're sitting there and they're like, and all of a sudden they all of a sudden sip on the coffee and then they're like wearing that like coffee French scarf and they're in like the Riviera and like all of a sudden you're like, yo, I want that. That's exactly it, right? If you just saw a cup of coffee sitting there, you'd be like, coffee's pretty good. But you see that video and you're like, holy, I want that.
You're like, coffee is so good.
Yeah, so that's what you have to do. You just have to put out this sort of like this feeling, and and just like put it out there. I don't know how else to explain it, and be consistent with what you do.
Positive and just good vibes. Yeah, and it's not an act. This is like actually how Derek is. So I feel like if you did start your channel now, it would take off because you're just so high vibing, and people just. They just like you're like a magnet. They like
so
it.
I don't know. That's another thing. And I don't ever. I mean, I don't. I try and keep positive. I don't dip into like the drama. Of course, you can get like a quicker. You might be able to get a little bit, quicker of a climb up there if you did. But I don't think that the longevity is there as well. So I know that there's certain people in other communities that want me to debate them on these controversial topics. I just don't care. Yeah. And like I'm over here just like doing my thing. Yeah. And all these other people like that are doing their thing, like, okay, fine, just like do that, but like you're not gonna rope me into your whole you're not gonna rope me into your whole thing.
We're just vibing and enjoying life and everything.
So this is a cool one. What would your dream job be other than YouTube?
Kind of
this is kind of cool. Well, I do think about this a lot because eventually I'm going to have to phase out of this somehow. I don't think I'm going to be on YouTube forever, but I would, I don't know. I would love, I honestly don't know.
Okay, can I just tell a really funny story really quickly? We were driving and we saw a power washer truck go by. Power washing when you can you power wash and you go like this and you can make designs and you're like washing like dirt off stuff. And Derek looked at it and he's like, man, that would be so fun. I'd love to do that.
That was like the most satisfying job.
I'm like, what? You want to be a power wash? And you're like, well, think of it. You're just power washing. You're just meditating the whole time.
Active meditation all day.
And you can make designs and stuff and then go over it. He's like, this is amazing.
No. So, okay, but that wouldn't be I actually do love labor though. There's something about I love labor and working with my hands, but not saying I want to go and like push a broom at a construction site, because I've done that. And I don't know. I want to be creative. I'd like to be able to like work with my hands. Honestly, like total like dream job, at least in this community here, would just be like helping old people.
Mr. Fix It.
I would just want to be a handyman. I love fixing stuff. So it's like, hey, your lawnmower is broken, or like your brakes in your car are squeaking, or like your tap is running, or like whatever.
Like
that
I'm your
would
guy.
that would be my ideal job. So yeah, if we hit it rich here and we keep getting some super chats, eventually I will phase out of doing this. So no, I won't. But I would love to just help people, and like, you know, really like affordable prices, and just like, you know, things that people don't know how to fix themselves. So do you watch Dr. Gregor? Vicky's restorations. What are you restoring? That's what I want to know.
Vicky, what are you restoring? I wonder if it looks maybe possibly.
I restored this table. Look at that. That table, I restored it. Or actually, well, I gave it a little patina. But I do watch Dr. Gregor. Yeah. Yeah, love his information.
Again, he's the man.
Yeah, he is the man. Yes. So, shower curtain ring salesman. No, not quite. Are you and John Venus still friends? Ooh, wouldn't you guys love to know? Yeah, of course. We're still friends. I actually talked to John just the other day. And yeah, not looking for your opinions in the chat on John, but he's still my friend. And we chatted on the phone for a good while yesterday, and he's, yeah, still my buddy. So I don't know what to tell you. I know he's eating plant-based right now, but I'll let him on his channel let you know the details. So what else?
Would you ever do a fitness competition like CrossFit? Oh, Spartan or Ironman?
Oh, okay.
You've done a Spartan race.
I did a Spartan race. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish there was another, like, yeah, with the current climate of things, like probably not going to have a Spartan race anytime soon, but it was so much fun. And I don't think about CrossFit very often. I'm not familiar with the movements, and it's something you got to do a lot of repetition with. So I don't think so. And then I don't know if you asked about a bodybuilding competition or not, but like, I don't know. I don't think I'd ever do that, because I'm just like, I'm just too small. And even I know they have like weight classes and stuff, but man, if you see me beside someone who's like a real bodybuilder, like I disappear. So no, probably not gonna do those.
I think you'd do really well.
Thanks, babe. Yeah, I'd actually probably have
welcome, babe.
Get lean as heck, and I have trouble doing that with the food that we have in the house. Someone just says, "How John Venus?"
How John.
How awesome are you guys on a scale of 1 to 10,000? Oh man,
1,000,000.
We're a solid 9,002. Okay, yeah. Well, how are 1 hour 8 minutes? Let's do another 10 or 15 minutes of this, and then, okay. Let's see. Have you learned? Hey, Brian's here. Where's Brian? Oh man,
Brian,
somebody responded to Brian. Anyways, what's up, Brian? I'm glad you said hi in the chat. I know whenever my friends have chats, like if Brian's doing a live or like Hench Herbivore or something, I always like want to say something in the chat, but then I'm like, shoot, I don't want to like blow up their spot, you know? It's
or
like,
just be like, yeah, just be like that creepy kind of stalker dude that's like,
yeah,
I see you.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Anyways, yeah, Brian Turner, another fellow vegan dude, killing it. Do you eat mushrooms often? Yeah, I do eat mushrooms often. Yeah. Are you?
Wait, what kind of mushrooms?
Are you?
I guess all mushrooms.
Are you low carb or anything? I love that question. Are you low carb or anything? What are you? What the heck are you?
I'd say we're like mid to high, mid carb. You know.
I would. Yeah. I mean, plant foods are high in carbohydrates.
Yeah,
and
carbs for life.
So yeah, I eat a high carbohydrate diet. Oh look! Oh, Vicky's restorations. Oh. No way. I restore old woodworking tools. Retired chef. I was the one who asked you to sharpen your knives.
Oh.
Okay, so I see you got some criticism too. Okay, no, that's really cool. I actually, one of my pastimes is I like watching YouTube videos of people restoring old tools. I don't do it that often. I don't have much time, but yeah, that's really cool. Do you think that you could restore my dad's old like right angle? It's pretty bad. I'm sure you could. Just needs a little polish.
Yeah, we do need to sharpen our knives. Well, we actually only have one knife that's actually good, and then the rest of our knives are just.
No, we have another good one. The one that RJ gave us. What if RJ's watching this? Because he gave us a good knife, and it's a good. No,
oh,
it's
that one's good. Yeah, but the rest of our knives are just like I feel like sharpening it would just like.
So Brady Gomez, I'm not comfortable with protein powder yet. It's a slippery slope. but I recently bought Sacha Inchi powder. Is this a good start?
Huh.
Oh, Sacha Inchi.
I haven't heard of that for so long.
Yeah, that was
like really popular.
Yeah, Vega.
Yes, Vega.
Can't say Vega. No, they had the seeds
on lock.
Yeah, so Sacha Inchi powder. Yeah, see how you do with as far as digesting it goes. I'm not too sure about if that's like a defatted, powder. I'm not sure how that works.
Heard of that.
So. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
Just make sure it's okay on your digestion.
Yeah, make sure it's okay on your digestion. You don't need protein powder to make gains, right? This is something important to note. But, it's a nice way to bump up your protein by the end of the day. Generally, I'll get around 80 to 100 grams of protein in the day. And then, another 20 grams will come from Vivo Life's protein powder. So really the difference between, 100, 120 grams of protein, like, for somebody who's just starting out, might not be that, that helpful. But if you think that you need some more protein in your diet, I think that's a good way to do it. So yeah, not too familiar with this Sacha Inchi powder. Pretty cool.
I like the name Sacha Inchi.
Yes. So Juha Jupi says, my energy levels feel best when I eat 1 to 2 meals per day, but I worry I can't get all my RDIs in only a couple meals. Any help or feedback would be great. So yeah, you're going to have to, if you eat only 1 meal a day, like I know I have to get, 2,400 calories sort of at least to just sort of be a human and, continue to have my energy levels and stuff. So for me to get that much into 1 meal is very tough. But 2 meals a day, I don't think that's a terrible thing. I often do only eat 2 meals a day. I know with my full day of eatings, I often show you guys 3 meals and it'll just be like, a smaller breakfast and then a medium-sized lunch because I like to show you 3 recipes and I do sometimes eat that way. But if my day is like sort of compressed and I don't have a lot of time, I will just have like 1 big smoothie or a big smoothie bowl after my workout and then maybe snack on a couple little things throughout the day, maybe a Lara bar or maybe some fruit or something like that. And then at dinner, I'll just have like a massive dinner, just endless food to eat until I'm so stuffed. So I think that you could definitely get, all your RDIs in only a couple meals. And RDIs are a tough one because it's like, I don't know, the same RDI is for someone that is, for a girl who's 100 pounds, for a guy that is 300 pounds, we have the same RDIs, right? Or, okay, for women and male, they're different. So let's just say a guy that's 100 pounds or a guy that's 300 pounds, you're going to have the same RDIs, right? And also our food doesn't always have the exact same amount of nutrients in it. Like one type of tomato might have, a lot more vitamin C or a lot more whatever than another tomato. So with the RDIs, like if you're checking every single day looking and you're 10% low on this and whatever, like, you might drive yourself crazy and you're probably doing okay. And they do have some contingency, built into these RDIs. So, it's not that if you just like, chances are if you get enough calories, you get a variety of whole plant foods, you're probably doing okay. It's a good idea to check every once in a while.
Yeah, I would just like caution, just be careful.
Yeah, I'm not saying RDIs don't matter at all. I just wanted to put that out there.
Or just eating 1 meal a day is like totally okay. I don't know. I feel like just make sure that your digestion doesn't start to suffer.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Make sure that, like, obviously if you're only eating 1 meal a day, a lot of people, what they do is that they eat in like they're fasting the rest of the time, which, fasting does have some health benefits, but it can also like spike cortisol and stuff like in those levels. And that can actually give you energy and make you feel like really great because your stress levels are like higher, your cortisol's higher. And a lot of people can mistake that for being like, oh, I feel super great.
Yeah.
And then it can just like get bad soon. And especially for like women and stuff like that. So just like, do your thing, but just be cautious of like the possible pitfalls as well. And then of course, like not being able to eat enough too. Thinking you're eating enough out the 1 meal, but just like so hard to eat 2,400 calories in 1 meal.
Yeah. Thank you, Crystal. So what does it say? Isadora Workman, great job on your garden this year. Thank you. It was okay. Again, we didn't eat enough of it. Like we ate it, but like the bugs started to get at it.
Yeah,
and
the bugs.
It's such a hassle to get them all
but they,
off.
They gotta live too. They gotta live too.
But I love seeing what you're growing. Yeah, we did have a lot of fun with it this year, and we learned a little something every single year. This year, the big takeaways were mulch on the garden is like a savior for keeping the soil healthy, moisture in the soil amazing. Since you asked, are you worried at all that there may not be very many seeds next year due to COVID? That I have not had that specific worry because actually Snake River Seeds Co-op, they sent us like a whole
We
bunch
have
of seeds.
so many
So we got seeds for a long time.
A while, yeah, so we're very blessed.
Yeah, we're lucky there. But no, I have not thought of that. I definitely have a lot of future fears for, you know, like food and what's going on.
Yeah.
That wasn't one of them, so thanks for adding to it. But yeah, no, I haven't thought about that. But my gosh, what a scary thought. Can't get seeds. But luckily we don't rely on our garden for like calories. And that's the thing I've been thinking is like, man, we just grow all these like such low calorie foods in our garden, tomatoes, cucumbers, lettuce, kale. And it's like, man, if we actually had to survive off of our garden, like there was like 4,000 calories in our garden. Like that's it. You know what I mean? Like
we have to start growing like potatoes and carrots and like tubers and stuff,
yeah.
which we don't really have like the space to do that right now. We have to just like create more beds and like deeper beds. Unfortunately, our beds are really small, or not small, but like, what do you call it? Like not very deep. And so we can't really grow like potatoes and carrots very well.
Nice.
So we're gonna have to figure that out.
So that person said I actually saved a bunch of seeds this year just in case. So that's really smart, letting some of your letting some of your stuff go to seed, and then grabbing the seeds. But I know some stuff like hybrid tomatoes, you can't do that with. You can't save the seeds because you're not necessarily going to get a plant that's true to seed. But if you have heirloom tomatoes, which you probably do, since you're so keen on all this, that you probably are all right. I'd love to send y'all a dual-sided sharpening stone. We've been sharpening our own knives since 2005. Very meditative. Hey, really cool, Joshua. Hey, man, our P.O. box is in the description. We accept all forms of gifts, including gold. No, I'm just kidding. That's like super kind of you. Do not feel like you have to. I'll actually show you really quickly the sharpener that we have.
Yeah, Derek has a sharpener. We have one. It works actually pretty well. I think it uses water.
It uses water. It's definitely like it's definitely not an advanced, like you're going to laugh at this being a stone sharpener, but it's one of these. So these little wheels on the inside are actually stones. And this is the number 1 slot. So you go through here a few times. So you put water in here first, and then you go, it just kind of, you can see it. Yeah, rides along there. A few times in number 1, a few times in number 2, and then clean the knife off. And then you just
hope for the best. Hope you didn't ruin the knife.
And then you cut your finger.
Cut your finger.
2 thumbs up. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, that's what I have. But I would like to, and I know that I got to get better with my sharpening. What's this question? Hey, your thoughts. This is from Sheepwork. Humans have been eating animal products for 100,000 years. Since they are still bad for us, isn't that a problem for the evolutionary theory? Well, evolution doesn't really care how long, how long we live after we procreate. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So once we have children, it doesn't really and once we are able to make sure that they're healthy and living and we don't have to live a whole lot longer.
Most cave people died in their 20s.
Well,
if they even made it to that.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying.
It's actually really crazy that most humans are now living to 100, 110, maybe even more than that. That's really crazy.
Yeah. So
wasn't like that before.
Yeah. So yeah, as far as just evolution goes, I don't know what.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused with the question.
No, well, I think that what they're saying is what if all of a sudden everyone just starts eating vegan now? How is maybe evolution going to change in the future? I'm not too sure, but whatever, the whole appeal to nature fallacy. I'm not a great debate artist or anything like that, and I'm not super familiar with all these terms, but I do know that just because we've been doing something for a long time doesn't make it right. Right? There's always been rape, murder, whatever. There's all been all these things, and it doesn't necessarily make those things right. And the fact that we had to survive and we had to eat animals to survive, I will never deny that for sure, because there are situations, and there's probably still countries today that need to convert non-edible food or non-arable land for humans into calories and from a cow turning it into milk, whatever. But we don't have to do that here because there's so much food available to us, and we can live a healthy life without eating any of that stuff. So for me, it's not even a real issue. but yeah, so I don't know. As far as evolution goes, as long as we get to, you know, the age where we can procreate and we have a child and a healthy child keeps going, then like, I don't see how things are going to change. But it's an interesting topic. And yeah,
Totally.
I'd love to hear someone who's more knowledgeable and eloquent talking about it, but I'm going to move on. So did you see something? Oh, have you tried just egg? Okay to eat on a regular basis as an egg substitute? I haven't.
You haven't?
I have not seen it.
We don't have access to that here. I've never seen it in Canada.
I haven't seen it either. I would like to try it.
Be fun to try.
I think any processed food, I think if you're asking, you know, generally if you're asking, is this food to eat? Is this okay to eat every day?
Then you kind of are like,
you
man,
probably
I know I shouldn't be eating it every day.
But like,
tofu is a great egg, an egg
replacer,
substitute that you can do like scrambled or like an egg salad sandwich kind of thing with.
Yeah.
And that's great, and it's a very healthy alternative.
But it doesn't
like
cook
a processed
up,
food, but it's different than just egg.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying you could have just egg one day, and then you could have like if you wanted like a tofu scramble the other day or something like that. But yeah, the processed foods are great. They have a place, but it should necessarily just be something that you just are having like 3 times a day kind of thing. This
one. Ever heard of Greeks eating as fruitarians living to 200 years old?
I mean, I don't know if I'd want to live to 200. That'd be you'd see a lot of stuff, but that's really cool. I believe it. Fruit's the best.
I've never heard that, but that's interesting.
Yeah, I've never heard that either. But
are air fryers safe? So if you put your hand in it and you turn it on, no, I'm just kidding. I think okay. So first of all, like it's just dry heat. It's not anything like there's no like microwaves or anything like that. And that's a whole other topic, the microwaves. So it's just like an oven. It's just like a convection oven.
But the food is really close to the oven.
Yeah. So it's safe. It definitely produces more. Is it advanced AGEs? No, it's what is it from heterocyclic? No, what is it from the starches when you're cooking too much? You guys will know. Tell me in the comments when you brown starches. But you know that would be the worry. And then some are going to be coated. Some are going to be coated in nonstick. And that's what ours is. It was given to us as a gift, and it's beautiful because nothing sticks to it. However, we do have to be mindful that the nonstick does release some chemicals into the food and the atmosphere that the food's cooking in. So if you can get a stainless steel one, I think that would probably be ideal. But yeah, it's virtually the same as baking in a convection oven. Heterocyclic amines. I think I was stuttering on that a little bit, so thank you for that. So yeah.
Have you done an Ask Me or an Amazing Food series on beets?
I don't know.
That would be so good.
I think I have.
Have you? Man, we can't even keep track of the Amazing Food series, but that is a great one. Beets is a good one, especially because they're local. Like we can get them locally right now.
I know,
like in season.
But I think I did. Where's my phone?
Did you?
I don't know.
Maybe
Anyways, what's that? Oh, good morning from South Korea.
Morning.
Cool. Thank you. Good morning to you as well. Wow. So it's like the next day over there. That's crazy.
Yeah,
it's Sunday. Crazy. Any vegan collabs you'd like to do? I'm actually like not that great with collaborating with people because I don't have any reason. I should do more collaborations. And now that we're coming up on the winter and I don't have a ton of YouTube video ideas, feel free to recommend.
We also live in like a small town and like there's no YouTubers here.
Yeah.
We don't live in LA. So a lot of people, when you see they're collaborating, they live near each other.
Yes.
And a lot of times that's like LA or California or maybe New York or something.
But now I think with
we don't really see anyone.
With how like things are now, I think that like doing things
you can do it online.
Doing it online I think is okay. Like for a while it was sort of like, that was how it was, like, Skype interviews or whatever. And then it became like so professional that it's like you had to have the person in person. But now with things, I think it's okay again sort of to do that. So I would like to get some really smart people on my channel, some doctors and some, do some interviews and really give you guys some like really good information. I think that would be really fun. I know Gut Health MD, I talked with him a little while ago and said, I'd like to have you on my channel. And he was like, yeah, sure, whenever. And then, yeah.
And then Derek's like,
I'm like, oh crap,
my God, what do
I have to schedule something.
Oh my God, I'm nervous.
Jay Suarez, I know you don't like oil. Okay, it's not that I don't like oil. I just don't cook with it all the time. And I think it's a lot of people, we just use oil in all of our cooking. It's like, okay, a little bit of oil at the bottom of the pan for the stir fry. And then I'm going to make a salad dressing, put some oil in here. I'm going to saute some veggies, put some oil in there. All of a sudden, there's like 400 extra calories in your meal that you're not even noticing. And it's not providing much nutrition. So that's my thing with oil. I don't hate it. I do consume it sometimes. We have some oil now. If you guys have seen my recent videos, we have used it a little bit. So, you know, just to set the record straight on the oil. And I'm not super calorie scared. And that's one of the reasons, is because I just eat foods where I don't have to think about that all the time, right? And just think of it, you know, if you do add oil to a few things every day, by the end of the week, you know, it's going to add up to quite a bit of extra calories that aren't really helping our bodies too much. So that's sort of my thing with it. Coconut oil, go ahead.
I was just going to say, oil is kind of like, it's like table sugar. It's like a refined, fully processed thing. And you don't see people putting like table sugar on their stuff. Like that would be like, oh my goodness, no. But then you just see people putting like oil on everything. So yeah, we don't use it much. But you asked about
coconut oil. So yeah, coconut oil, it's not that great. There's lots of videos on from Dr. Greger, as someone was mentioning, nutritionfacts.org. If you want to learn about it, it's very high in saturated fat. Which is not awesome for us. Of course, in small amounts, it's going to be okay. But, you know, it's the habits that we have every single day that we continue to do that's going to build or break down our health. So we do have to be mindful of these habits. So yeah, coconut oil, I don't think it's a great one. If I get a dessert from some restaurant and I'm out, it has coconut oil in it, I will eat that and I'll enjoy it and I'll love it and I won't look back. But I'm not going to go home and cook my stir fry in it or put a spoonful of it in my smoothie or anything like that. So yeah, those are my, go ahead.
I think it can, it's been shown to raise LDL cholesterol, which is like what, you know, animal fats and stuff do as well. So it's not, you know, it's been marketed as this like super healthy plant-based alternative, but it isn't. Mm-hmm. And so from what I've seen, a lot of people say to avoid it and just try other oils, extra virgin olive oil, like maybe avocado oil. You don't really want to heat that, but there's different, if you want to cook with oils, there's different ones to choose rather than coconut oil, because it's just, it's just not health promoting. And
once you get away from it, you really don't miss it too much in your cooking. But I have noticed, since we did bring some olive oil into the house to use for one of our Thanksgiving recipes, I do notice that when it's there, I'm like, hey, I could just put a little bit on these potatoes before I put them in the air fryer. So you do your taste buds, you know, get used to what you're eating and crave what you're eating. So anyways, yeah, that's that one for your boyfriend there. And thanks. I'm glad he watches the repair videos. Those wouldn't be from me, but maybe one day. But that's pretty cool. There's so many good things on YouTube. It's amazing. Sammy Rose, super chat. Do you worry about mountain lions and or Bigfoots while riding through the woods? Okay. And then also mask or no mask. Ooh. Okay. So yes, I do think about mountain lions and bears when I'm riding. And yeah, not a whole lot that we can do. I could just not go into the forest ever, and that would be it. Generally, when I'm out on my own, I will be like, I sometimes sing and I talk to myself. You can wear like a bear bell. But then sometimes people just say that's like, it makes you like cougar food, because the cougar knows where you are if you're wearing like a belt. Obviously, you wouldn't wear it around your neck like a collar. It's usually like on your bag or something. But it's not something I think about too much. I've been in the forest a lot. I have seen some bears in the forest, and you know, they just want to stay away from you.
Yeah, cougars though.
Cougars, they mess you up. Cougar. We have the most dense population of cougars here on Vancouver Island. They see them in the neighborhoods around here. Sometimes it's kind of scary. You just hope that you don't run into one on the trail. Generally, they don't like to be around humans, so they generally are not. I did see one a couple months ago. Holy smokes, is it ever big? Like this thing, I came around the corner and it looked like a friggin' lion out of the Sahara Desert. I'm not even kidding you. It was like, its back was like, up, you know, like it would have been like up to here, huge, thick tail that went down. And I was like, holy, now I understand how big these things are. Because I've seen videos, everyone, you probably saw that video that was out nowadays. And that one was like chasing that guy away from the baby that he saw. It was kind of went viral. That was tiny compared to the ones that we have here. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully we don't see them. Someone called it Vancouver Island. Yeah, that's so true. And then as far as Bigfoot, yo, I would love to see Bigfoot. Yeah, I don't know.
I'd be scared, but I'd love to see Bigfoot.
I love just the possibility that these things are out there. I would never say that Bigfoot exists or anything, but I like the possibility that something like this might be out there, but never heard them, never seen them. There are grouse here that make this noise. It's like, ooh, 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 ooh.
And it sounds like Bigfoot,
so much like Bigfoot.
What we think, and we're like, is that Bigfoot?
Yeah. But no, but I actually like to listen to like Bigfoot stories on like YouTube as I'm like falling asleep for some reason. And then mask or no mask, if I go into a place that requires me to wear a mask, I do wear one. But otherwise, our stores around here generally aren't very busy, and there aren't many situations that I'm put in where I absolutely where it's mandatory, or where I feel like I am in that close quarters with people. Also, cases, whatever cases, but deaths and like people that are in hospitals, very, very low here, almost none on the island. So, we're quite lucky here.
We wear masks when we go to the grocery stores, though, just, to make people feel comfortable and stuff. But I don't know if this person meant, do we wear masks when we're riding? That's probably not what they meant. But we don't wear masks when we're outside, like walking or riding a bike.
No.
Or anything like that, because we're in like fresh air and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely not.
I feel like that would be really difficult to like breathe if you're wearing a mask and like mountain biking.
Yeah. Where is Cougar Island? No, we live on Vancouver Island.
Vancouver Island is such a good word, though. That's kind of what it's like.
Do you have Bigfoot up there? They don't get too many spottings of Bigfoot on Vancouver Island. I don't actually know of too many at all.
Yeah, it'd be a big swim for it.
Well, they might just be here, but there definitely are like on the mainland.
Squamish maybe area? That
yes,
kind of thing?
Squamish Hope member.
Right, yes.
Yeah, so yeah, there definitely is out there. Yeah, I don't know. What water filters do you use? Do you still drink alkaline water? Asks Ivan C.
We've ever drinking, I don't think we ever drank alkaline water.
Our filter alkalizes their water. So sorry, Crystal, we've been drinking alkaline water this whole time.
But I thought, I don't know, I thought it was like, oh, you drink
no, we don't drink no. We just have the Centivia
I don't even know
filter.
how good that works, to be honest.
It's pretty old, the filter. We gotta change it. The thing, we're like in the middle of sort of like trying to decide what the best is for water, because I know a lot of people like the reverse osmosis, but there's concerns with that. It takes out too many of the minerals, and distilled water, that's not good for us to drink all the time. And so I don't know the best type of water to drink. I don't think that super high alkaline water is good. The way that our water, the filter alkalizes the water, is it just adds minerals back into the water that make it alkaline. Interestingly enough, I used to work for a water company, and our water was alkaline when bottled. However, if you open the bottle and you let it get to room temperature, the pH actually changes. And this happens with, as far as I know, all alkaline water. So just a heads up, the pH in water does change. So it's not always just going to be alkaline. If you leave your water out overnight, there's some sort of chemical exchange that happens with the whatever's in the atmosphere and the water. That's why if you notice when you take a sip of your water from your bedside table in the morning, it doesn't taste as good. I thought that was interesting, but you're yawning. Jesus.
I thought it was like the chlorine dissipates, because sometimes.
Well, that does too. That does too. But it was just interesting because somebody they called our company and they were like, "You said this is alkaline. I'm testing it." So then on the bottles, this is a long time ago. On the bottles, they had to put the pH was whatever 7.8 or whatever it was at 21.5 degrees, because at different temperature it might be different.
So
anyways,
Eric has a great question, which I've actually thought about this too.
Yeah.
Why are Instant Pots not instant? And you know what, Eric? When we first got our Instant Pot, I was like, this is going to be sweet. It's going to take 5 minutes to make
I thought it was like a microwave.
It's going to be amazing.
Without microwaves.
And you wouldn't believe the first few recipes we made, how we messed them up. Because I would be like, oh, beans, they're only going to take 5 minutes. And then we'd open it and it would be all hard and bad. So I think that they're more instant than maybe the old pressure cookers. Also, they're way more safe. So I think we're very blessed to have access to them, even though they aren't instant. Because they pressurized.
I was gonna say and what would they have called it? But Quick Pot is kind of like a cool name.
Quick Pot.
Yeah,
that's kind of interesting. Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you, Eric Newcomer. Thanks for the $5 just to rant, because I feel you. Why is that called that? Why is purple cabbage called red cabbage? Why are purple onions called red onions? So many questions on this earth, and I don't have all the answers. So let me try and get this name. I can't do rather than avocado. He can't do. That's really funny. I like that. So anyways, any chance you're looking for someone to come move out to BC to intern for your business and live your amazing lifestyle with you this summer? Oh man, I wish. That would be really cool. But no, unfortunately, we have one employee here, and actually we have a small team that helps us as well. But no, we're not looking for anybody else right now, unfortunately. But if you like answering DMs, maybe I'll have a job for you. No, I can't hire anyone to answer my DMs. That's not personable. Have you opened your third eye with avocado? Yeah. Don't you remember that picture that I had like a long time ago like this? I think that's probably what you're referring to.
I think, okay, so we're at an hour and 35, so I think we should.
We'll wrap it up. 2 more questions.
Wrap it up.
2 more questions.
Dang.
What are we going to do after this?
We had plans to, because it is a nice day and it's not raining, I think we're gonna actually get out on our mountain bikes. There's this like nice little trail where we live that we just found a couple of days ago, and Derek wants to scope it out because he wants to try to maybe build some jumps or
like, make the trail better, because we found this trail. We kind of ride by it all the time, and you know, one day we just like took it recently, and it's like what, 10 minutes from top to bottom, probably if you're going fast, probably like.
Well, we kind of got lost because it's a really cool
and it was nighttime. I panicked a little bit. We don't have to talk about it, but we're gonna try and like we're gonna scope it out and maybe like maybe make some jumps and stuff in the future. It's gonna be so much fun because it's like really close to me. I'm really excited. Hey, homemade sports drink, Datorade. That's what you should make. But you could always do date and banana aid. It's sort of similar, but basically just a bunch of dates blend up in water, right? Mm-hmm. This is like a great sports drink. You can even add a pinch of salt if you want some, you know, extra like electrolyte action. But yeah, that's a really good one. Yeah, it would be a great video one. And one that I often like to do rather than just the dates is like 1 banana and a couple dates, water, and then a bit of cinnamon and maybe a little bit of salt if I want, if I know I'm going to be sweating a lot. And then I'll just blend that up, put it in the freezer, and then I bring that and just have that when I'm mountain biking. Like I'll keep it in the car, come back and have a couple sips or whatever. Are we going to bring back Ask Me Mondays? Yeah, probably. We want to do more Q&As. I love doing them. So yeah, I think definitely we're going to be bringing those back. Don't want to make any promises as to when, but we will. Yes, we will. And I don't know if they're going to be like, you guys love to tell me like, it's so hard because sometimes we'll only get like one nice day out of the week in these next like 6 months. And sometimes it's hard for us to get out there. And I know that nature is a big part of it, but like, would it still be cool if we like were maybe on the couch answering some? And of course I would do my best to like make it, you know, multi-dimensional, where it would be like, oh, okay, a question on this. And then maybe, you know, a couple clips in the kitchen of like how to make something or whatever. We try and make it a bit more dynamic, but I think maybe that's what it might evolve into. I'm not too sure.
It's hard to film with just the weather because we just don't always know what we're going to get.
Yeah. So,
those videos take a little bit of planning. It's not like, well, why don't you just like on a nice day, just like get out there and go. We do have to like plan the questions and stuff, which we could easily do and then have them in our back pocket.
So I see Chef AJ mentioned a few times. So yeah, people have asked for me to go on there, and they actually reached out to us.
She reached out to Derek, and they're
booking like in so far in the future.
We're trying to set up a date, and I believe March of 2020 is when she had time available. So I think that'll probably happen then, maybe earlier, but it doesn't sound like she has anything early, and that's what she offered, and we were like, sure, that's great. So yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think
months from now.
Yeah, who planned? Like, it amazes me that people have their life like that together. Like, oh my gosh, March 2020 has passed. Crap.
Oh, 2021. Sorry, not bad. Man, I know. Honestly, I feel like I am in March 2020 still. It's just been a whole blur.
Wow. So straight up question from Coolin' It. Do you do steroids? 100% no. I do not do steroids. 100% no. I have never done steroids. I know I made a video on it a while ago and like accidentally sort of beat around the bush and didn't answer the question, didn't actually say, no, I never have. And it's so funny because then people are like, did you notice he didn't actually say he didn't? So yeah, 100% like it's an honor that people think that, you know, that I do, you know, of course, but 100% no, this is completely natural. And even when I first made my first gains, when I started working out, it was like 100% natural. Didn't take any SARMs, never taken any SARMs, never taken any anabolics. I can proudly say I've only taken creatine, you know, sort of protein powder, you know, pre-workouts, sort of like for like the pump every once in a while, citrulline malate, that sort of stuff. But yeah, so no steroids, WTFF.
It's important to remember though, is like Derek's been working out for years. Like
Yeah.
it's been what, 7 or 8 years. And so this isn't like overnight. And I think a lot of people, unfortunately, I see this a lot actually online, is a lot of people don't really give credit to hard work. And sometimes they'll just see a picture of a guy that's muscular and like, sure, he might be on steroids, but he also might not be. And he might have worked his ass off to get to the point where he's at. And it might have taken him a really long time. And so it's just, you know, it's just nice to be discerning when you like blame people or say, oh, you're on steroids and stuff, or you can't be vegan. Another thing that's really popular is you can't be vegan, build muscle, or else if you are, you're on steroids. And that's just like not true. And I think that does like a huge disservice to the people who are building muscle, who are killing it in the workouts, killing it in the gym. And, you know, and then they don't get the credit because apparently they're on steroids because of eating plant-based. So yeah, it's a question that unfortunately Derek gets a lot, which is kind of,
well,
I guess
it's good for my ego.
It's nice for your ego, but it's kind of sad because you're like, no, I'm not. And then people are like, oh, you're lying. And you're like, well, no, I'm not. What the heck?
And here's a good question. Nutrition Bros ask, any experience with body dysmorphia?
Yeah.
And I think this goes a lot with it because, okay, like the pictures that whenever I post a picture, you know, like I don't often post a picture where the first thing I think when I look at it is, oh man, I look small or skinny, right? Like there's certain angles and there's certain lighting. And if I don't have a pump when I worked out, or if I like haven't, you know, been eating lots of carbs and my muscles are flat or whatever, then I just look like I don't look the same, right? So you have to remember, it's like, you know, especially on social media, it's like always like good lighting, flexing, you know, it's after a workout. Have a pump,
which, coconut oil,
and actually, no, I've never done that.
That's a good use for that.
Once you actually have muscles and you feel like that pump, it's actually insane how much it changes like the look of your body. Like I've actually, yeah, I do kind of look like a bodybuilder when I'm working out and I have a pump, but then like later on, like when I'm at home and that's all gone down and it's later in the night and I've had like some sodium and stuff, it's like I don't look like I even lift. So yeah, smoke and mirrors. That's what. Yeah, so Rebecca.
Someone said your profile picture on YouTube looks like you're 0%, and like that profile picture. If you guys like,
yeah, that was a good
Derek's,
time.
Profile picture, that was like a good time. But that was also like quite a few years ago when you're a little bit leaner and like really good lighting and stuff like that. And that's why it has been the profile picture.
I never changed it. I guess I should change it.
No,
I just have to get like that shredded again.
But you know, some people do bodybuilding competitions in like, you know, like the 90s, and like still today they might be like,
yeah.
You know, sometimes when you got a good picture, you got to use it.
Yeah. That's so funny. So yeah, anyways, yeah, do I still use creatine? Yeah, I do, but I have to admit I haven't been as habitual with using it. And yeah, so yeah, it's something you got to stick with like all the time in order to feel benefits. Some people feel more benefits than others. If you take it and you don't feel yourself getting stronger, or you don't notice like any sort of increase in, you know, sort of muscle volume or size, then yeah, maybe it's probably not worth it for you. I think unless you're really trying to get that extra like 4 or 5%, you know, muscle and like, you know, extra weight that you can lift or whatever, then I don't think that you need to take creatine. You know, anytime that we take these isolated compounds, even though it's like one of the, and I know I've said this before, but even though it's like one of the most studied sports supplements ever, and it's generally accepted to be totally safe, long-term, short-term, whatever, of course it's going to, you know, have an effect on our body and put something else slightly out of balance. So it's just something to keep in mind. You have to understand there's going to be a risk for anything like that. So if you don't need it, and you're not trying to be, you know, you're not trying to get people to accuse you of taking steroids, then don't. No, I'm just kidding. So that's been, yeah, I'm ready to get going. Crystal, what do you think? Like, I love chatting with you guys. I know I need to do this more. I often feel like because I do it on these days where it's like I don't have an upload for a weekend, I sometimes feel like it's a cop-out, but I want to make it, I want to make a point to come on here and do them more often, so I don't have to. It's
fun to connect with you guys.
So I don't have to do like a 2-hour one.
Yeah. And always is Derek's like, we'll do it for an hour. And I'm like, okay, I'll just put 2 hours down because that's probably how long it's going to be.
Nice. Oh, and Steven Turner said he takes half the dose, half the time for creatine. Yeah. So for me, yeah, I don't take the 5 gram dose of creatine either. I stay like right around 3 grams. I just figure like I'm a smaller guy. I don't want that much stress in my body, but I still want some of the benefits of it. So I don't know. So anyways, yeah, any final words, says Louise. Louisa is ready to go. She retracted her message. That's so funny. Any final words? I don't know. Let's just be kind to each other out there, everybody. And yeah, just like love your neighbor, check on your neighbor, you know, of course, 6 feet away, make sure everyone's doing okay. And we love you guys. And we're really thankful that, you know, we have this community and that I'm still able to like, you know, do work and we're still able to have our business and stuff like that throughout all this. And I know everybody isn't so lucky, and we often talk about it and we feel guilty about it, but we also feel really thankful about it. And we just want to like, yeah, let you guys know we love you. We know that times are hard for everybody, and, you know that we go through stress as well. So anyways, much love from us. We're going to go try and check out how to build a mountain biking trail. Crystal's super excited. I'm excited. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll post some stuff in my stories about it. We'll have to see. Oh, guys, Brady, you can't send a super chat right as we're leaving.
We're just about to leave.
Currently sprained my ankle. Any meals you would recommend for better recovery? Okay, one thing, actually, I was given, well, arnica is a really good anti-inflammatory. I was actually given it homeopathically, arnica, when I had my hernia surgery. And I don't know if it helped or not, but I recovered so much, and I didn't have very much inflammation. I'm not huge on homeopathy, but like, I don't know arnica. Anyways, but meals, you just want to get some anti-inflammatories in there. You know, get the turmeric, get the ginger, get the flax in there.
Ground flax,
ground flax.
They're dark leafy.
But
greens.
man, Brady, let me tell you, if there's anybody who knows sprained ankles, it's this guy right here. My ankles are so weak, literally being only held on by the skin around them. Like there's no tendons or ligaments in there anymore. From years of skateboarding and soccer with like cleats, just wrecked it. And I know for me, yeah, there's nothing that I've ever eaten that's made it like heal up really quickly. So, but okay, best thing you could do, you know, rest, ice, compression, elevation. That's what we were taught in school in health class, and that's what we still do. So yeah, rest, ice, compression, elevation. So you want to, you know, compress it a little bit with like a what's that called? You put around something like a not a tourniquet, like a what's that thing called? I don't remember. Man. The little bandage brains or something. You know, like a stretchy bandage. Anyways, yeah, you want to put that around there. But anyway, but hot and cold therapy can be really helpful as well. So, you know, a bit of hot, a bit of cold, that can be really good for helping to move blood like flow in the area and can help it heal up quicker. But if you're only suffering from inflammation, maybe just cold. An ACE bandage. Okay. Or a tensor bandage. Tensor bandage. Yes, thank you. Yes, that's what we call it. Yeah. Tensor bandage. Sorry, it's been so long since I had an injury. I couldn't even remember. Anyways, CK Limited, just a quick $10. Thank you. So thank you guys. Thank you. Really I like that little emoji. That's super cute. Okay, guys, we're gonna get on with our day. Yeah, so much love from us. This is like super exciting. Sorry I didn't have a video up for you this weekend. I was just like a little bit low on motivation, a little bit low on ideas, but my cup has been filled once again from you guys, so thank you very much. And we have there's a lot of questions in the comments, so what we might end up doing is it would actually be great to take some of your guys' questions that we weren't able to get to and maybe do like an Ask Me Monday or another Q&A that's filmed. Yep. And I actually think that would be a really fun idea. Yeah, that would be really fun. Yeah, and if you want, you could always go into, once this video is published, you could go into the comments and then you could add a question and then maybe we could get to it. And you could hashtag it AMM. If you hashtag it AMM, that's really easy way for us to like track those kind of questions. Yeah. Yeah. I wish I was as happy as Crystal. Jeez. Me too. Okay. I heard creatine can make you go bald. Okay, oh my God. It's been like almost 2 hours. I know. We've talked enough about creatine, so. Yeah, it can increase CHT, but like really, yeah, I don't know. That was one small scale study. And anyways, okay. Love you guys. You gotta do some research on that one. Okay. Stay safe. Bye, everybody. Love you. See ya.